affirmation this morning. I am a person of action. I seize this moment. I choose now. And as New Thought students, this is something that really should be very paramount in our thoughts and our words and our deeds. A lot of times we'll talk about different affirmations, and we always want to add that time frame at the end. I am healed now. I am prospered now. We want to put that time frame to let it happen now. So we want to be a person of action. We want to seize the moment, and we want to choose now to do it. I have mentioned before in my talks how the Joel Osteen Ministries, so much of his talks and his messages are very New Thought based. Of course, their faith is a little more fundamental than ours, but when I hear his messages, because I'll usually have the television switched on Sunday morning as I'm getting ready, I'll hear his messages and they're very New Thought, and sometimes I'm beginning to think he must have a spy in our camp somehow, because something he was talking about this morning, it's so upsetting to me, because it's going to seem like I'm showing up an hour after his show and plagiarizing everything he says. But it actually works the other way. It was really interesting because, of course, a bizarre setup, but he was talking about there was some very wealthy man who was having a gathering, a party at his house, and he had filled the pool with sharks and alligators and crocodiles, and to all his guests, he said to them, anyone who jumps in and swims across, I'll give you whatever you want. And suddenly heard a splash, and there was a man zipping along 90 miles an hour, dodging the sharks and the crocodiles, and he jumps out on the other side. And so the wealthy man said to him, wow, what is it that you want? And he said, well, the first thing I want is to know who pushed me in. But he was promoting the same idea that, this person in this situation, he took control of the moment. He seized the moment, he took action, and he got himself across that pool and out before the dangers or the challenges got to him. And it's interesting. I think I had mentioned to a couple of you that just yesterday, a couple of friends of mine had gotten married, and so I had performed the ceremony, and I had also hosted the event. And at a point in time, as families are, one of the family members who'd been dating somebody, the boyfriend was disgruntled because he couldn't sit with the girlfriend because there was only so much room at the head table, and it was kind of escalating to a point of, hurt feelings. And I had just gone to them at a point. I said, this is your special day. So, you know what? Being a person of action, I picked up a chair, I moved it to the table, I sat it down, I said, there, now you have another chair. Let's move on with the day. So, obviously, not every challenge in our life is going to be as easy as picking up a chair and putting it at a slot in a table. But when we do encounter our different challenges and these different circumstances in our lives that hold us back or make us feel like we're not able to go on, if you open your checkbook and the balance isn't what's needed for the monthly bills, or you get a diagnosis from the doctor that isn't what you wanted, or you don't know exactly how to accept it, know that in every circumstance, in every situation, we are all capable of being a person of action. We can seize the moment and we can choose now to do it. So when prosperity is an issue of yours, take hold of your prosperity affirmations. Use prayer and meditation and affirm and visualize your prosperity. When you get the diagnosis from the doctor that is a challenge to you, focus on your healing. Use your healing affirmations and prayer and healing meditations. When you have a challenge with a family member, some people don't get along, and as we go into the holidays, I hear that a lot from people of, they dread the holiday because Aunt Susie never has anything nice to say, or, any myriad of things. Go to your place, use your affirmations, be a person of action, seize the moment, choose now, and walk into that situation, just like Daniel walked into the lion's den. Logic would tell us that a man walking into a lion's den probably isn't going to come out very well, but he went in, he had his faith, he had his courage, he walked into that, he wasn't worried because he was a person of action, he seized the moment, he chose then and now to pray to God and to have his faith strong with him so that he wouldn't be torn apart by these lions in the den. So as you're going through the week, ask yourself this question: what keeps me from taking action? So as you're going through your circumstances and situations, your challenges throughout the day or the week, Do you get frozen? Do you get that deer in the headlights thing? There's this challenge. I don't have enough money in my checking account, or this diagnosis from the doctor, or I have this pain. I don't want to go see the doctor. I don't want the bad news, or I can't seem to get along with my daughter or my son or my mother or my cousin, my uncle. What keeps you from taking the action and writing all that? What is it that is holding you back? What's stopping you from being a person of action, from seizing the moment and choosing now to do the right thing, to move forward, to hold on to your faith strong and encounter every circumstance and every situation that way? And the good news is that we are all persons of action. We can seize every moment and we can choose now to connect with the divine, become guided and directed, and accomplish all of our goals. Through God, all things are possible. And we read that in the scriptures. Through God, all things are possible. So that's very important to hold on to as you go through the week and as you go through your challenges and your circumstances and situations. Realize that you are able to be a person of action. You can seize the moment and you can choose now. And I hope for all of you, all of your challenges can be as simple as just putting a chair and a place and a table and making everybody happy. And I know some things will be less challenging and some things will be more challenging, but know that you have it within you. With God, all things are possible.